Background music, Dixie on the loop. Please say it is.
It's always on the loop. I figured out how to do it. Are you proud of me, Nebel?
Amazing.
I am special. Hooray. I tried my best. I figured out how to do it. Are you proud of me, Nebel?
Amazing.
Alright, so we are live, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn down the volume. I think it's a little bit loud. Here we go.
loud! You say?
No, we're not allowed to be loud. It's not
What?
right. Okay, we're going to alert the masses now because I did this.
I was specifically informed I could be as loud as I want. I feel cheated now.
Okay,
Yeah, I
fine,
know,
you
right?
can. I mean, you always can because I'm a loudmouth anyway. But, well, then again, the people get what the people want, right? And I can't tell people.
Oh, I don't know if they want what I'm gonna give them.
Oh, yes, I love it. Because you're magical and you are my friend. And that is very important. Okay, gotta go to my channel to get the video, to share with people. I'm not smart about this, but I try. I fail, but I try.
I tweeted
Yeah.
first.
Yay! Channel to get the video, to share with people. I'm not
Yes, I
smart.
have tweeted a link to the video as well.
Yay! I'm dumb. I haven't been able to until now. Okay.
Oh
Also
wow, we already
nerd.
got 3 people in the chat.
Oh.
I don't know if you saw, nerd, but I posted a related image. I did this. I did a little meme image for the campaign.
Oh my gosh! I must see.
Here you go.
Ah, my thing is breaking and freezing. Okay, you know what? I was gonna add everybody, but I can't. So I'm just gonna go tweet it and then do a new one that does it. Because you wanna know what? It's Firefox is a bitch.
I mean, it's why I use Brave now.
I should use Brave.
A fellow man of culture, I see.
I have Brave.
Ooh,
I just haven't
yeah.
used it yet, and it's so perfect. This is peak physique. This is peak woman body type. This
You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like.
This is what perfect women's body looks like. Same image as it.
Just call it peakperformance.jpg.
Perfect lady. That's what it's called now. Perfect lady. We will show the viewers. I think they deserve to see it. It's great. I saved
What
it.
did they do? Why am I asking that? My story is meant to my story is like the last one. Concentrated trauma.
That's all your stuff, and I love it anyway.
Well, it's not all of it. It's just the stuff I published so far.
It's fine. I have other it's a thing. There we go. We will put this right here, and we will. Oh, Alright! I said get down! You're not allowed to be all that high up. You get to go in the background. There you go. There you go. It'll hang on our wall. See? It's on the wall. Ta-da! Look how pretty it is. We will.
Very
Oh.
nice.
You wanna what? We need to feng shui it a little bit. Let me just move it. We're gonna move it a little bit to the side there. There we go. It's so perfect.
Amazing.
It's beautiful. Look at
You
that
got a link.
beautiful thing.
You got a lunk to the stroom.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't give you that. Yeah. I'm smart. I know things. I think I know things. Here you go. Here you go. This is.
I too know things.
I am dumb. I am dumb. There is no
Okay.
ambulance. You guys are crazy.
But yeah, I've got settled into the new place, so.
Oh, congrats! Okay. So
I like the place. I just hate LA.
Well, that's okay. Well, I mean,
I mean-
everybody has reasons to hate Ellie. Oh, wait. I've been scolded. My editor just says we gotta keep on topic. I'm sorry. We will keep on topic then.
Wait, who's your editor?
Editor for my comic. It's Jess.
Yep.
Okay, how do I get to...
I'm out of the loop, but I'm okay
Howdy,
not knowing
Jess.
things.
It's secret.
No, I know, Jess. I know.
Yeah, I don't tell a lot of people about my projects a lot of times. But yes, I'm making a comic right now.
Very nice. I was
I did-
more confused. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Good.
No, it's fine. I'm a derp anyway. I'm the biggest derp. But we're not here for me. We're here for you guys. That's why
Are
everybody
we?
came.
I was just kidnapped. I'm here against my will.
Hey.
I'm here because it's funny.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, Nebel kidnapped me and brought me here to laugh at me.
what?
Yep, that's right. That's exactly why you're here.
Well, okay. That's fine. That's fine. We're all good friends. We're all good friends. So right now we are talking about, to anybody that has entered in, you want to go and check out what's going on. We are talking about the new and approved Hallowed Harvest 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Exactly.
It is here, which is I think it's really nice. I love the first one. Big fan. I have a poster of it on
Nice.
my wall. Yes, I loved it. I put it on my wall. I've read it constantly. I adore the original. So
How
this
often
time-
do you touch it?
I framed it.
Oh, you framed it. Okay. So I guess touching it is out of the question.
Well, you can't touch a poster when you frame it. So absolutely not.
Oh, well. All right. How often do you touch the frame?
Boop. I've touched it right now. Does that help?
Yes, it does.
Boop, 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 boop. Okay, touching has been complete. Hooray! Right off my list.
Excellent.
But yes, we have a whole entire. If you guys weren't around before, the Mythoverse, as you all know, if you do not know, they're a really cool comic book company. They release a lot of really cool comics online. You can get physical copies. You can get digital copies. They have all the crazy stuff, but mostly it seems to you guys deal a lot with mythology and magic as far as your expertise.
Yes.
So if you like a lot of fantasy-oriented stuff, definitely check out Mythoverse. And they did a series for Halloween last year called Hallowed Harvest, which was a bunch of small stories in one large book that were all based on Halloween or horror. And so, it's that time of the year again, so they're doing a number 2.
Listen, if Christmas can start now, so can Halloween. Just saying.
Yes.
I mean, there is no room for the poor turkey of Thanksgiving. But that's okay. Not everybody celebrates Thanksgiving. It's mostly us Americans and Canadians.
They celebrate a different one.
Well, yeah, they celebrate a different one, but it's still called Thanksgiving. But,
Our Thanksgiving is the right one.
yes, that is true. Don't tell our friend Switcher, he will kill us. But yes.
I already have.
Oh no! Don't say that! That's so mean. Why did he say? Oh wait, no, it's Switch.
Nah,
He
me and
doesn't care.
Switch are cool.
Yeah, he's pretty legit, man. But yeah, okay, so back on to order. Well, we would like to learn, at least I do. I bet the masses do too, though. They're pretty chill. They're pretty cool people. They would like to know, what can we see in Volume 2?
So, James, you wanna field this one first?
Yeah. So, when you say what can people expect, you mean like what are the stories that are in it? What's the tone, or like what?
Well, I know you do multiple tones. I mean, how many stories can they expect, and who's going to be writing and making them? Will they know these people if they're big fans of Mythoverse? Will they be returning writers and artists from the previous Hallowed Harvest, or is it a brand new cast?
Okay. So there's going to be 6 stories, in this year's edition.
Sweet.
And it is going to be largely returning talent from Hallowed Harvest Volume 1. So, myself, I wrote a short prose story, and I wrote an outline for one of the short comics that's going to be appearing. We have some art by Forrester, who did Port of Call in Volume 1. Nebel being Nebel and doing Nebel things. We have Dylan.
So a lot of trauma.
Yes. Oh, his and Dylan's story are the reason I would rate this comic a hard R.
A hard R, you say?
Nebel, what did you write? Last year's was terrifying, but what did you do? Nebel, what did you do?
We could get into that more when we start talking about the stories.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so it's largely returning talent from last year. And there is also a story from Ginger Foxy, who is the colorist for Changeling and Urban Fairy Tale, for those of you who have been following the Mythoverse. Yeah.
One of the stories that was originally going to be in the first volume but couldn't quite make it is now ready to go for this volume.
Well, that's great. That's right, you did tell me that there were a few that weren't able to make the cut.
Mostly due to time constraints.
Yeah,
But yeah.
Didn't make it through the finish line.
Life got in the way, you know.
I mean, everybody knows that. Seems like a thing that we will deal with.
Yeah, but all the stories are complete right now. So we're just handling the logistics of getting print proofs ordered right now. So we can guarantee, as long as we get funded, everyone gets, at minimum, digitals as soon as the money clears. And as long as there's no major hiccups in the supply chain, we should have prints out to everyone by Halloween.
Oh, that's fantastic! I love that. So, will there be... I know in the last one there were a few goodies that you could pick up. In the original Hallowed Harvest, I believe you could get... there was a tier for posters. I think there was one for a t-shirt. There was another one to get not only the original Hallowed Harvest, but a bunch of the first issues of your new series that were coming on out. So, what can we expect this time around?
Yeah, so it's there's a lot of perk tiers available, and a lot of them just kind of build on each other. I'll just hit, I think, my 4 favorite, or the 4 most important, I would say.
Okay.
First is going to be maybe 4 or 5. First, if you've followed everything we've done at the Mythoverse, except for maybe Hallowed Harvest Volume 1, and you really only need the digital, then our $5 tier, you get Hallowed Harvest Volume 1, Hallowed Harvest Volume 2 digitally, over 100, I think it's almost 120 pages, but it's at least 105 pages of content for $5 digitally. Next up is the $10 tier, so if you've never heard of the Mythoverse and you want to get into it, don't mind PDFs. For $10, you can get everything we've published so far in digital format.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So that's over 350 pages of digital content for $10. I feel like that's a very, very, very good quality.
No content and continuity backlog intimidation here.
Yep. It's very easy and relatively inexpensive to jump into Mythoverse and get all the content. Next up, we have the $25 tier, which is going to be the All Hallows print. You get a print copy of Hallowed Harvest Volume 2, as well as all the digital content, and all the subsequent tiers I list will have all this digital content. For $25, you can get either the standard cover, so if you stop on the image of the Samhain Shade, which is a green guy with the shiny necklace.
Oh yeah, this one, the one made by the legendary Nebels.
Actually, that image was done by Dylan.
Dylan's inking is fantastic.
It's really good.
I thought it was Nebels because it's the Nebel Man.
It's the Nebel Man! You
Yeah,
guys.
so that
He's got a name now.
What's
Yes.
it? He got a name? Do I?
the Samhain Shade.
Oh.
So last year he was just the mascot for Hallowed Harvest, but Nebel and I worked together to flesh him out as an actual character in universe, and he's actually going to be appearing in both of my stories for this year's
Is
edition.
he like the Crypt Keeper?
Imagine if the Crypt Keeper came up to you in real life and decided to mess with you.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know if you would want to, but you can play the trailer on the Kickstarter page,
Okay.
and that'll give you an idea of how the Shade operates.
I bet everyone will love that. Okay, we're gonna click. This is great. Oh, that is beautiful! I haven't even gotten that far.
And so it is that in the month preceding that harvest in Sabbath, the Shade, that malignant keeper of lore, ventures into the world of man to collect new tales. Failing to find any of merit, he twists the bonds of fate to create his own, leaving gourds carved with grotesque images of the unfolded events. Nicholas Stent, Unusual Folklore.
Oh my gosh!
Narration provided by the wonderful Lenore King.
That was fantastic. You guys really did an amazing job. But
Thank you.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Nebel, what the heck are you writing? I saw those pictures. I know those are yours. What the heck, man? What the heck? Oh my gosh!
You know, Matt from the Matriarchy asked me about the same thing.
Nebel, you truly are the enemy of man.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, I just want to go over this real quick. When we went over to the Matriarchy show, like when he came up to me as like, so I have a question for you, Nebel. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yep.
I told him it was my favorite question to be asked.
my gosh, that's great. But yeah, I do know you like doing some dark stuff, but every time,
yeah, your work never ceases to amaze me. But yeah, like I love the cover. So these, so there's a green cover and then there's a purple cover.
The purple cover you're looking at is actually a poster by Dylan Fagan.
It's beautiful.
So if you scroll all the way down, there should be like a zombie Adobe picture. That'll be our variant cover.
Ooh, look at those art pieces.
We must go to the variant cover.
Sorry.
Every variant
Beautiful.
cover.
I want to look at the beautiful. Is this it? Is it the Adobe Kroger zombie?
The stream's like 5-10 seconds behind our conversation, so yeah, I don't know yet.
Oh no! Hang on. Maybe I can show you. It's just I worry it's gonna slow down. I don't want to kill.
Yeah,
the
don't worry
stream.
about it. It's fine.
Because I was
Yes,
gonna show
that
you.
I can see it now. It is
Okay.
it is the zombie Adobe.
I was gonna
so
show
that's
you my
actually not-
OBS, but I worry
No.
that it's gonna crash because it's.
Yeah,
been
no, don't
slow.
mess with anything. We'll make it work.
Okay,
So that's not even the completed version.
it's beautiful.
Xenolith Comics should be getting that to us within the next day or two. The completed version, but yeah, you'll get a variant with the Zombie Adobe. That's our second version. So those are the two things you can get at the $25 tier. You can either get the Sound Shade variant or the Adobe variant, and then like moving up $5 from the $25 tier, you can get either variant with the poster from the top, the blue and pink one. And then the next bunch of tiers are just like, oh, you get variant plus poster plus original, or variant plus like Hallowed Harvest Volume 1 plus posters, any permutation thereof. The next like big change is that $90 you can get everything we've printed so far in print. So you get Adobe Kroger number 1, Adobe Kroger number 2, Mythic 1, 2, Nerdist Mythological 1, 2, Changeling number 1, Dropping Out, which was a solo story by Dylan and Dan. I feel like there's one I'm missing. Mytho Chibis Volume 1, and then Triple Crown, which is our racing manga.
I do not have Triple Crown. That's something I will need yet.
Well, you can get it for just
Yeah.
$10 digitally.
Not a bad idea at all. Let's see here. There's like a lot of different stuff. So, let's see here. Sorry, I'm just reading them all. All the prints. So, is there, I think you said it before, but is there a tier for, oh, here it is. The tier that you also get Hallowed Harvest Volume 1.
Yeah, so that I glazed over that because like from 25 to like 55 is a lot of the same thing, just replacing parts and moving them around. But people who go to the page can look more closely and choose what they want.
No, absolutely. As long as you can also get the original Hallowed Harvest, because I think that some people that are going to be joining up did not get the original. So I think it's always a good time. And also, that is the premiere of Nebel work. I think
So someone says Mytho Chibis in the chat. So yeah, Mytho Chibis is the Mythoverse gag comic. It's non-canonical, goofy adventures done with a really cutesy art style.
Hey, you guys are very close to your goal. But we gotta get there, guys! We're not there yet! We gotta get there. I mean, like it just is so pretty. I love that opening. Oh my gosh, it was brilliant. You guys did such a great job. Like, I hope, like, be proud of yourselves. Be very, very proud of yourselves. That was brilliant.
I'm proud of the trauma I caused.
Yes, you should be. You always cause so much trauma. But, hey, it is gorgeous. I am really looking forward to this. Definitely gonna go and back this. Probably a 30 tier, because I did miss out on a few of the books. So, that'd probably be good. Mostly, I have Changeling, Adobe Kroger, and the main trilogy. But I need to go look through. I think I have like 2 others, but I don't know their names on the top of my head, so I'll have to go check.
Yeah. So, then the next big tier, so jump back into what people can get. After the $90 like catch-up pack tier, the $150 tier is you get everything from the catch-up tier, but times 2 copies. So you can distribute them to your coworkers, your friends, or if you're particularly mean, to children.
I wish I could
And Nebel knows I'm talking about his stories in particular.
Yes, I cannot show any of these to children. I have tried before to do stuff like Alternaween and stuff. I've tried to buy issues of the comic, but I always get there late, and so I don't get the kid version. So I get a ton of very dark, violent stuff, and I'm like, I can't send this out. But I like doing that stuff.
You have my permission to just cut my story out of Hallowed Harvest Volume 1 and use that for the children, because it's nice and wholesome and not painful.
It's fun to give kids comics, so yeah, like one day I'm hoping to definitely do that. So
well, you could back at the trick or treat tier, and then you have a couple extra copies.
That's true. But then I'll have
Hurt.
So yeah, there's that, and then the other big thing for the crowdfunding right now is if you go to the updates page real quick.
Okay. Let's see here. Where's the updates page? Where is it?
It should be scroll up through the main Kickstarter page instead of the tiers one.
Updates.
Should be your update.
I'm done.
Yeah, and then it should be like progress update plus new item, I think is the one I want you to go
Production
into.
is almost complete for Volume 2. My best worst Halloween and Hallowed the Hunt. Just need some final edits. Additionally, there's new item. People who back 25 or above will all be entered a raffle! Ah! So there is a third variant cover?
Yes, but it is a highly exclusive. There will only be 10 of them printed for distribution. There might be one or two print proofs that float around the universe, but there will be 10 printed for the purposes of this raffle.
Bro, that is so cool! I'm really needing to do that.
Yeah, wait. Did you open up the message to see the image? We gotta show that off for the people watching.
There's more? If I click read more?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
You're so excited, the mic is like dampening your voice.
I'm sorry! It's really pretty! No, look at that! 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 Okay, everybody calm down. Everybody. Alright, I know I'm crazy, but this looks like an old horror movie poster. Oh my gosh, you guys did a perfect job. Just the blood splattering wording, the whole entire movie fonts on the bottom and everything. Oh my gosh, this is perfect. The background.
Do you know what movie it is? What movie it's an homage to?
I want to say is the font reminds me of Halloween, or Friday the 13th, but the background reminds me more of what is Pinhead from?
Hellraiser. And it's Hellraiser.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, because the background and what he's holding reminds me a lot of it.
Yeah, so I worked with Jacob Gracic. I'm not good with Polish. I'm sorry, Jacob, if you're listening. But he did the art for my story last year. And so I approached him and was like, hey, you want to do an exclusive variant cover? And he's like, yeah. So I sat down with him in a meeting and pitched some ideas, and we went back and forth until he eventually said, like, hey, Hellraiser would be a pretty cool cover to emulate. And I was like, oh, that works perfectly, dude. Let's do it. And that's the final result.
I'm telling Purity, because she loves Hellraiser. And Hellraiser just got into Dead by Daylight, so all the Hellraiser crackers are going crazy because they need more crack.
Sure, show it to Purity. Get us more publicity. We got 3 days to get this funded. We can use it.
Absolutely! I will do what I can. I'm sorry I couldn't fund it until now. I've been on vacation.
Hey, I'm not concerned about it. I'm just glad to have the slot. The fact that you want to back it is just bonus.
I like books. I really like them. And I love comics that are well written and fun. And it's very important that we spread the word and actually have good comics. Because I think we all could be very honest here. There's not many in the industry. They kind of give us trash. Trash is a nice word to call it.
Well, it is a word.
Yeah.
It's the nicer of them all. But yeah, like, honestly, I'm really looking forward to this. And I am super psyched, and I hope the audience has been too. Like, what do you guys think? Is there any questions in my audience of people? Let's see here.
Yeah, we got
I am Joseph
Nebel.
Joseph Joestar is the best Joestar. I'm not gonna lie, so I take that as a compliment.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh, so something Brett poked me with is I don't know if any of the viewers are familiar with Salem, but he's one of the guys who works with the Mythoverse, and we've agreed that if we get funded, he's going to make an absolutely horrible drink from the Venture Bros. I think it's the Hunchback or something like that, which is like ketchup, whiskey, and some other nasty stuff.
Ew!
And drink it on stream for us.
Oh, that's so gross.
Excellent.
So if you help get this funded, you can enjoy pain. You can watch someone in pain.
Suffering! Yay!
It's our
Yay.
favorite thing.
Yeah, so there's that, and then there's a couple of other goodies kicking around in the background that I'm not going to announce quite yet because they're not done, but there are 3 more add-on. Oh, Brett said ketchup, Coke, and bourbon for the drink.
That is terrifying.
But there are, like I said, there are 3 more things kicking around in the background that I'm hoping I can announce fully within the week before the crowdfund is done.
Okay, that could be lots of fun, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it. You guys always seem to come up with something that is amazing and fantastic. You guys have a really good team. Like, honestly,
Well,
you all are treats to talk to. I mean, I'm a little bit biased. I'm really good friends with Nebel. At least I think I am. Am I a good friend of yours, Nebel? It's cool if I'm not.
I think we're pretty good friends.
Yay! We're friends!
I think the fact that I'm able to talk you into having me on your stream, even as I traumatize children, says quite a bit.
I like it. You're a good friend. Even if you traumatize children and draw fingers coming out of their eye holes.
Oh, jeez.
Which is very disturbing! But okay. You are my friend anyway.
Here, since I know I'm going to be getting it sorted tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'll let slip one of them. It's not a guarantee yet, but what I'm going to try and do is for the people who win the raffle for the exclusive cover, you will also get a copy of that image as a full-size movie poster.
Oh, hell yeah!
So I'm going to be meeting with a printer tomorrow to discuss that. Again, it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
Damn.
But if I can get it to work, that will be included with the for the raffle winners.
Okay, I'm so in. I'm down. I want that so
What one took to make this happen?
It's beautiful!
Yeah.
So that's some of the stuff you could be looking forward to in terms of a crowdfund. But now let's get into what the stories actually are, because we've talked a lot about the value you can get in terms of numbers, but not in terms of story.
Yeah. I didn't want to really give that away in case if it was supposed to be vague.
But definitely, that's what a lot of people are craving and are interested in
Oh,
knowing.
I think we can summarize the stories without giving away everything. Like
that's
give
great.
little tidbits. So I think we'll just start top to bottom. Let's see here. I have the list that they will appear in order because I have compiled PDF. Let's see here. All right. So, first story is going to be My Best Worst Halloween. That's going to be Ginger's story, and it involves Maeve Mackenzie, the protagonist from Changeling and Urban Fairy Tale.
Aw.
It's the first Halloween after she figures out that she's not fully human. And so she's forced to go trick-or-treating with her little cousin, and shenanigans ensue.
Oh no.
I'm not sure how much more I want to give away, but that's it's a good time. I read through it already, and it's just nice and wholesome. It's gonna be the palate cleanser, except it's at the front end. Second story is Jungle of Ghosts. Take it away, Nebel. This is your monstrosity.
Oh boy! Alright, so Jungle of Ghosts takes place at the tail end of a family beach trip at the island of Guam. It's winding down, the sun's down, it's dark out, they got a fire going, and they're telling spooky stories, and then the youngest, Tony, is getting ready to tell his story, and then he gets interrupted by hearing voices calling him in the jungle, where surely nothing bad happens.
I mean, from a certain point of view, nothing bad happened. In fact, good things happened. Good things happened.
I suppose from somebody's point of view.
No! Don't look at this! Don't I saw the pictures! I saw the trailer! Everybody
Nothing bad happens, nerd. What are you talking about?
No, yeah, exactly. It's all just wholesome, cutesy artwork. It's the framing's poor, I will admit. It makes it look like it's spookier than it is.
Oh my god.
I mean,
well, yeah, I can elaborate.
You only write wholesome stories, right, Nebel?
Obviously. I don't know where people get this idea that I create traumatic, horrifying imagery. It's probably from me saying it. Oh, man. But yeah. So I can go a little... If you like nerd, I can get a little bit into the background of this story, because that's usually the way I'm able to actually talk about the story the most without giving anything away.
Yay! Tell us.
So this story involves the legend of a particular kind of ancestor spirit from Chamorro culture, Chamorros being the natives of the Mariana Islands. This ancestor spirit is called a Tautaumona.
Okay.
And if you think of ancestor spirits, in some way, ancestor spirits are basically old people with ghost bodies.
Old people.
And you know, most of the time, like, ancestor spirits in stories are fairly chill, you know, they dispense advice and they help out their descendants and their kin, at least most of the time. Tautaumona are more like Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino.
What?
They're the get off my lawn ghosts. Most of the stories that involve a Tautaumona involve somebody going into the jungle without their permission, doing something to piss them off, which could be any number of things.
Yeah.
My favorite being one of the rituals you might need to perform if you go into a jungle is you might need to ask the Tautaumona permission to piss on a tree.
Oh, shoot, for real?
Yep, because if you irritate them, piss them off, one might say, they'll hit you with they'll afflict you with a horrible disease and leave a handprint-shaped bruise as a calling card.
Ugh. Is that like
But if they like you, which you likely have no idea why they like you, but if they like you, they'll imbue you with super strength.
For pissing on their tree?
No. They won't do it if you piss on a tree.
Oh, okay.
They'll just do it if they like you.
Oh.
You probably won't have a clear idea about why they like you. But if they do, they'll give you super strength.
Holy F!
Some stories
crazy.
Some stories describe somebody being blessed by a Tautaumona being able to lift up a car with one arm.
That's insane and cool and terrifying because they also sound terrifying, like mostly terrifying. I hope
they're very ornery, grumpy spirits.
As per usual, Nebel, you certainly have proven that you do your history and you do your research on everything.
Well, I cheated a little bit on this one because these are stories that I heard since I was a kid because I am actually part Chamorro.
That's pretty cool. So now if people get mad or something, like a random white person gets offended on the behalf, they can't say anything now. See?
I mean, they can't end, they'll just look like a jackass.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's a little bit of the background, is a little something from my childhood, from my heritage, if you will.
Yay!
And finally adapting that into a story that's been a long time coming. We can talk about that more later on if you want to ask about like what the difference is between the production cycle of the first Hallowed Harvest and the second Hallowed Harvest, because we found that's actually kind of interesting to talk about.
Oh, really? You guys have a lot of stuff about that? Like, yeah, totally. No. I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, we can do it after we go through all the stories.
Yeah, sure. Okay, go on.
Yeah.
Next story, because I want to hear it.
Next story. Can you guys hear me? I'm unmuted, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can.
Yo.
Sorry, I went AFK for a sec. I didn't know if I had unmuted. Next story is The Investigation, which is my story. Or my prose story, I should say. So, The Investigation is, to put it shortly, an explanation of the details surrounding a string of murders. I think where the entertainment value really comes in is the story is meant to be a pastiche to H.P. Lovecraft. So I didn't pull from his mythos, but I tried very, very hard to emulate his prose style, his diction, his story structure. And I will let Nebel attest to whether or not I failed or succeeded.
No, yeah, James's story does read a lot like a Lovecraft story. The way I always describe it is like, if you weren't given the name of an author and you read through the story, you might have thought that Lovecraft just decided to try something different for a story.
Yeah, The Dead Give Way, though, is it's not set in the Atlantic Northeast.
And it's not in the 20s or anything?
Yeah. But, yeah, so my goal was to make it a pastiche to Lovecraft, so it presents the details very matter-of-factly. It tries to provide, like, the benign, quote-unquote, officially accepted version of events, but there are a couple small details that linger that trouble the narrator, and that's explored in the story. I'm very proud of it. It's the first prose story I think I've written like one prose story before for like a middle school homework assignment or something, but this is the first time I've like, all right, I want this to be read by other people, and it's not just an assignment.
That's really cool.
So I'm very happy with how it turned out. So yeah, that's what it kind of is, and it does have 4 images to accompany it by Bezel LeBlanc. She's a friend of the Mythiverse, one of our contributors. And the very, 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 very good art. Next up is I Burn with Hatred. Or sorry, did you have any further questions about my story? I just kind of blew through it.
No. I'm entertained. But I want to savor it.
Well, you will hopefully in about 2 weeks here. Hopefully we get funded, and in 2 weeks funds will clear and we can get the digitals out to everyone. Alright, so the next story is going to be I Burn with Hatred. It's Dylan's story.
Okay.
So it's going to be a prelude to a series he's going to do for the Mythiverse. It's going to be a revenge story, and in his words, he wanted to make the revenge story as justified as possible. And so I Burn with Hatred is very bleak in the sense that like a lot of bad stuff happens, and it's to set up for this ongoing series. Art, as always, is really good. His sense of color is as great as ever. Definitely R-rated. Would not give that story to children. There's gonna be an option in the crowdfund for a censored version, because it's the only story that like needs to be censored per se. There is some nudity.
Nudity.
Yes.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So this is the one that has to be censored. Compared to
Yes.
Neville's.
Yes, Neville's
Demonic
is just a
nightmares.
little bit of blood.
No amount of
Just a little bit.
censorship will make mine okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be Dylan's story. The last one is going to be the Blackfire Covenant. Which actually, I'm gonna jump back for a sec. So there's going to be an option for censored. It's not auto-censored for people. If they want, they can get an uncensored copy. They'll have a choice when the surveys are sent out.
Yeah.
So now jumping back to the Blackfire Covenant, part 2. So this is a continuation of the prose story from Hallowed Harvest Volume 1. The Blackfire Covenant part 1 tells the story of a man named Theo as he's trying to save his friend from a, I guess, Wicca cult. Salem will probably correct me in the chat here if he's still listening. But yeah, it's basically a Wicca cult trying to bring back the old ways, and they kidnap or
My day, we did it the right way, not with your cell phones. Sorry, I thought it was being funny.
I might have to
kids
commission
with-
that. I might have to commission that from
With their
from
dang
Nebel.
TikToks in there. What's it called? The Twitters? What is
Nebel,
this?
remind.
Steven, get in here and fix my phone. It's broken again.
Nebel, remind me for later. Boomer Blackfire Witches. I might have to commission that from you.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Where's my jokes about the man hating his wife?
Jeez.
The Wiccans these days, they think rosemary is the answer to everything. Oh, got a stubbed toe, put some rosemary on it. Got an existential crisis, put some rosemary on it. There's no blood anymore.
I like this. I like this story a lot.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Nebel. So anyways, that's the plot of the first one. This guy's trying to save his buddy. The second issue, it picks up right where the first left off. Theo brings his friend to the hospital where he must guard her while the spooky things are nipping at his heels. Again, I have read through it extensively. I actually sat down with Salem for the editing process and spent a couple hours doing that. I'm happy with it. I think it'll be a fun continuing story for Hallowed Harvest. Last story is The Hunt. This was my other story made in collaboration with Forrester. It tells the same story as The Investigation, just from a different perspective. So, whereas The Investigation is a more detailed analysis of the events, The Hunt follows the murderer and the people who are trying to catch the murderer. So it's going to introduce a couple characters that will be recurring in the Mythoverse, namely one Obadiah Lorenz and one Theophilus. And art, as always, is outstanding. Forrester does a really good job. It's got this kind of pulpy 80s feel, I think would be the correct decade. I'm not 100% sure.
So, classic horror movie feel, right?
Yeah, or like classic pulp comic feel.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, it's a nice little kind of, it's a real short, here's a series of events and a little bit of action to wrap up the comic, or to wrap up the whole volume.
Great.
Deep.
Oh yeah. I think, is that all of them?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
Yeah.
to think. I was trying to count. Oh! It is all of them. That is awesome, though. We got 6 stories. All of them give you a little bit of different.
Yeah, the PDF is 80 pages. So minus like title pages and stuff, you're looking at almost 70 pages, if not slightly over 70 pages of content.
That's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of different types of, like, kind of genres that you're putting in. Like, it seems like one of them's like a slasher, mind horror, mystery, action. You got it all. You got some pretty good stuff in here.
Ooh.
Now, I was told there is some strange backstory.
Who told you that?
Backstory to
The making of Volume 2 and
Volume 1. Gotcha. Yes. So I'll talk about generally, and then I guess, Nebel, you can talk about your project. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Generally, the production cycles between Volume 1 and Volume 2 were vastly different. Those of you who were around for last year's stream talking about it probably remember Volume 1 was conceived of, produced, and digitals delivered in 3 months. I had the idea to do some Halloween stuff at the end of July, and we delivered the digitals the day before Halloween. So it was a very, very short production cycle. I don't want to say rushed, because by and large the art doesn't look rushed, I don't think. It's pretty high quality. But there were a couple things, like there were some edits that needed to be done that didn't get caught until after the fact, because we were just trying to stay on deadlines. So I've actually went through with Dan and fixed a lot of that for this new release. So you'll actually be getting a slightly updated version of Volume 1. The stories are all the same. It's just cleaning up a couple of continuity errors, a couple of lettering issues, stuff like that.
Oh, that's not bad. Then yeah, it'll be a little. Sounds like.
So it'll be slightly higher quality. So yeah, that was Volume 1. Whereas Volume 2, we had, what's it been? It's been over 5 months, almost 6. We started, I think, was it late April or early May that I sent out like the what are your pitches for Volume 2?
Oh, when you sent out the pitches? I want to say it was like, we started around late April. Yeah, late April, early May is about when we did it.
Yeah.
But I've been working on mine since March.
Well, because you're a special snowflake who's responsible.
Yes, I am the specialist of them all.
Yeah, so we've been, like, working on it since between March and May. Would have been the start time. So that's an extra couple of months, which means people had a lot more time to refine the ideas. Me and Dan have actually spent the last week or so getting all the final edits ready and making sure it's all as nice as it can be. I personally read through every story just to verify punctuation, capitalization, spelling.
That's
so
quality.
It should be a higher quality. Yeah, it should be higher quality control getting shipped this time compared to last time.
On the plus side, old copies of Hallowed Harvest are now collector's items.
This is true because there's only a limited run and it contains errors that are no longer present.
Misprints. But yeah. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, to give you an example of what the changes were like, I can talk a little bit about the difference between making Maze of Dolls and Jungle of Ghosts, because it kind of illustrates what the change is, like how different it was.
Okay.
Maze of Dolls was a collision of a bunch of things that I was just happened to be interested in at that moment. We're thinking like, oh hey, these weird stories about people mistaking Halloween decorations for corpses are pretty neat. Oh hey, Halloween mazes are pretty neat. I wonder how I can combine these things and throw in a missing persons case just for fun. And then I remembered, oh yeah, I have a character that I want to make for a Hallowed Harvest, or not a Hallowed Harvest, for a Mythoverse story that I haven't done anything with yet. So this sounds like something perfect for her to get into. And basically, Maze of Dolls came together like as a consequence of a bunch of stuff that I just happened to be into at that moment colliding. And I basically had it done in one draft. Jungle of Ghosts, on the other hand, is based on a concept that I've been trying to make work in a story for years, and was also... its first iteration was vastly different from how it ended up. Mind you, there's some core stuff that's still the same. It still involves a Tautomona, and it involves nothing at all bad happening.
Of course.
But in the original drafts, I think like the first two or three, it was going to be a period piece that was set on Guam in the 40s during the occupation by the Japanese Empire. But I found after several drafts, I realized that in order to get across all the nuance and all the cool stuff that I wanted to about the period and fit in the spooky ghost stuff, I would basically have to make a complete graphic novel.
Oh no.
So like, I mean, this
Maybe
time around, James... Maybe in the future. But this time, James gave us a very, like, generously flexible, hey guys, no hard page limit, just try not to make a full comic. And by the time I got through the draft, I'm like, if I make these edits, it's going to be way more than a full comic. Like I said, like a graphic novel. Like, okay, I need to change this up so that I can get it underneath basically tell the story that I wanted to in a smaller amount of pages, which I've actually managed before, because my very, very first outing into comics that were published was on a Drawn Talk anthology. And that was a story that took me 2 pages to tell in its entirety. So I'm like, okay, I can condense this. So the present iteration of Jungle of Ghosts is the version of it that comes as a result of a bunch of edits and changes, and basically I think it's like the 4th or 5th draft in total of the script.
Dang.
So it was far more intensive and it was far more deliberate than the last one, which is like a lot more spontaneous and just things falling into place, while Jungle of Ghosts involved a lot more planning, and it went through a lot of drafts, which means, again, even more planning and even more editing and even more revision.
Damn.
So yeah, that's about what the production cycles were like. But I don't think either of them are. I like Maze of Dolls and I like Jungle of Ghosts. They're just made very different.
Hey, we all learn from our past works, and we adapt. We make stuff different. We try new things. Nothing wrong about that. Nothing wrong about that.
Oh.
You guys are growing. You guys are learning. You guys are skilled. You have skills.
Well, I suppose traumatizing children is a skill, yes.
Yeah, it is.
I am proud of my skill.
You have good skills.
Oh yeah.
So we did the... Is there any questions from the audience?
Yeah, we seem to have a V for Vendy that's being very active. Hello.
It was very close to being funded by the...
Yeah, so I'm just gonna catch up on the chat real quick.
Okay.
Salem corrected me. It's a hybrid between Irish Celt and Gaelic Celt. The
Gallic
mythology. Gallic. Don't become French. I'll have to stop talking to you.
I'm not French, I'm Gallic.
Okay. So the
Oh, hi, buddy. What's up?
He has a bun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Buddy.
I see. Okay.
Alright.
Salem was saying hybrid between Irish Celt and Gaelic Celt. So yeah, that's what the witches are from the Blackfire Covenant. Nebel's special snowflakes. Well, I guess that's going on the list of Mythoverse brands.
Oh, dear God.
Nebel
Is
added
it
to the list.
Is it a cereal?
I guess. Sugary
Cool.
cereal blend.
Oh, my goodness. Alright, so,
Added to the doc, Nebel, because I've lost the link.
for the Kickstarter?
No, the
For
brand
the-
doc.
Oh, the brand doc?
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm thinking, Nerd, if you want to keep streaming, maybe we can try to do a draw stream again.
Well, we can't do it tonight because I don't have anything set up. And if I'm able
Oh.
to, what I want to do is that is amazing and a great idea. But I remember last time we had issues with the stuff turning slow. So what I want to do is I've been looking into stuff like I've learned how to put music in the background. I've learned to do a few different techniques. So now the new technique is to try and find a way to actually make it flow well while showing a drawing without it breaking. Yeah, that's the new technique. I go on YouTube and I hunt down videos. Sometimes
Also, Yoda, I found you. Here you go.
Yay. That was a hiccup. Don't mind the hiccup.
Alright, let's see.
Let's see. This is a
Alright. Not seeing, I don't think we're getting any questions.
I guess that wraps it up. Aw, not like there's a lot of cute comments beforehand too. Like somebody thanked me for introducing him to Coven America. That is also a very good comic series. People talking about how awesome the Mythoverse is, because it is.
Right.
People talking about crazy adventures and about the Hunchback drink. Yeah, it looks like I guess we answered every single question people had for this awesome comic and backing. If you guys want to know, I did put into the information is the Kickstarter for Hallowed Harvest Volume 2 is in there, along with the Mythoverse site and Twitters for both James and Nebel, along with some Nebel art. Because Nebel is very good at the arts.
Oh, thank you.
If you want to contact Nebel, we have an email for him. And yeah, so like these people are very friendly. You should definitely go and say hello if you're interested in like commissions or to buy some more books or ask them what their next stuff is. Like, dude, Mythoverse has always been such a treat to have on my channel. Like, they're great.
Oh,
Definitely.
good to be.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have you guys on again in the future. Who knows? Maybe we'll be closed for art stream when I finally figure out how to do that.
Okay.
I'm trying to sing. I feel bad. But yeah, I shouldn't keep you. I shouldn't keep you too long. So I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna let our audience go. But I hope to have you on again. Is there any last words you would like to say to everyone?
Be more than happy to come on stream again. It's always a pleasure.
Yay! Oh wait, I should have said that with the happy face. Yay! You're such a good friend. Love it when you guys come on.
Alright. Well, yeah, the last word I would say is back Hallowed Harvest 2. Now with 50% more trauma.
Yeah, you're a terrible person.
Actually, I'd say 100% more trauma, because we now have 2 stories that would be traumatizing.
Do not show that
Yay!
to kids, please. Do not show this one to the children. There is no cute story this time.
Well, there is
back
one.
to trick or treat tier, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Take it. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good time, and we'll talk later. After
All right. Thanks for having us.
No problem. See you guys around.